Love and peace, peace and light.
Hello and welcome, energy beings. Welcome to my channel. Please like this video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can receive notifications of when I upload my videos and go live. Also, don't forget to binge watch my videos. I have over 800 videos on my channels. I talk about the American Aborigines, I talk about mental health, and I also talk about spirituality here on this channel. Love and peace. Well, today on this particular video, I'm going to talk about Tyla, the singer from South Africa. I was going to talk about how her music didn't do well on her second album, and the reason why. And it had a lot to do with, I believe, the public relations and how she was presenting herself in front of the American people who were buying her albums. I believe that if there was a better understanding as to how she presented herself, and if she learned the culture of African Americans, American Aborigines here, the FBAs here in the Americas, she would have done a whole lot better. There was a lot of misunderstanding and not enough research, I believe, when she presented herself here in the America with her music. I also believe that if there was careful research and she gotten to know more about her audience, she would have done a whole lot better. Well, I'm going to go ahead and give you the feedback that I got from ChatGPT. And the question I asked was, why did Tyla's second album did not appeal to Black American audience? And here's the response.
Tyla's second album might not have resonated with Black American audiences for several reasons. It could be related to the musical style or production choices that differ from what those audiences typically engage with. Additionally, the themes or messages in the album might not have aligned with the cultural narratives or experiences that resonate strongly within that community. Marketing strategies and promotional efforts also play a crucial role. If the album wasn't effectively promoted to that demographic, it may not have reached the intended listeners. Ultimately, audience preferences can be complex and influenced by a variety of factors.
Okay, there you have it. That's the response from ChatGPT. Well, I think that what is learned from Tyla's experience with her second album not doing so well here in Americas, it shows that it's important to appeal to your fan base. If you don't appeal to your fan base, you will not sell your product. Your fan has to be happy with you and resonate with you. You have to connect with your audience. And when you don't connect with your audience, then, this was what happened. You don't make the sales that you you didn't hit the mark in sales, and that's what happened with Tyla, that she did not hit the mark. I believe it's because of lack of research. I really do. I believe that due to the lack of understanding of American culture, especially Black American culture, because that's who she's trying to target, the FBAs, the foundational Blacks here in the Americas, and also the African Americans too, who are from, African, from the diaspora in general, but mainly the foundational Black Americans. She needed to understand the history and the culture, and I believe too, it's a crime shame that this happened, because I think it could have done a lot better, and we could have learned a lot from each other. Me being an FBA, a foundational Black American, and also, South Africans can learn, because we have similar history, not quite the same, because we endured slavery, which is, we endured slavery, our heritage. That's our heritage, and we also suffer from Jim Crow. and numerous other atrocities here in this country. And in South Africa, they endured apartheid. And of course, it's if you look at it, it was the difference in the labeling system. I did videos about the human labeling system that was done in the past. And I also did a video not too long ago, just fairly recently, maybe about a month ago, talking about, FBA's, delineating from, the term, African American, because we want to have our own identity, because a lot of people keeps on misunderstanding or keep on saying that we don't have a history and culture when we actually do. I talk about that on my channel here. Like we have the family reunions, we also do, have customs and traditions that we do as well, like the family reunions that I was talking about. You may want to check out the video on that. I talk about that here on my channel as well. So I also mentioned it on my Instagram page about how we celebrate our family through different traditions, and customs as well. You may want to check out my Instagram page. I talk about that as well. The altars, the family altars, that's a tradition. That's an American Aborigine, Foundational Blacks tradition that, you see pretty much almost across the board. But I wanted to share with you all some of the opinions and some more Black Americans had to say about this, about Tyla's situation. On this next video, this person talks about the difference between apartheid and also Jim Crow, between, the Black Americans here in the Americas, and also the apartheid that took place in South Africa.
Many Black listeners turned away from Tyla after she rejected being Black while embracing the very apartheid-era classification of being colored, a label designed to keep Black Africans at the bottom. Choosing to distance herself from the word Black isn't just a personal preference, but it's tied to a caste system still alive in South Africa today. Apartheid was South Africa's version of Jim Crow, but apartheid took it further, making racial classification and segregation a nationwide, meticulously enforced law that controlled every part of life. During apartheid, South Africans were classified into rigid racial categories: white, the ruling privileged class; colored, people of mixed heritage, often given more rights and resources than Black Africans, but still oppressed; and Black, the majority group placed at the very bottom, with the harshest laws, restrictions, and poverty. The term colored wasn't just a neutral label, it was a political tool. When Tyla was so appalled at the thought of being Black, it's because where she comes from, the colored label is designed to make her feel that she's better than the Blacks. But Tyla is finding out the hard way: when you come into the American market trying to blend into Black culture and collect Black dollars, you don't get to disrespect us and skate by. In America, the word colored was plastered on signs to tell us we weren't good enough to drink from the same fountains, use the same restrooms, or even eat at the same counters as white people. This isn't about forcing someone to change their heritage, but understanding how these labels were built to uphold white supremacy.
Well, this content creator did an excellent job as explaining the difference between the Black Americans and also the South Africans in their aspect and how they identify themselves according to race. Tyla sells herself as biracial. She would have been better off just saying that she was mixed or biracial as opposed to saying colored. If she would have just said that, she probably would have definitely appealed to the American audience a lot more, better. And also she showed the backgrounds of how, these two labeling systems, are pretty much almost the same, but was done in a different way, and I think if we understood each other's history, this could have been resolved quite simply, and also learning the culture as well as to how to engage yourself to the audience, to make yourself more appealing, more, where you resonate more with the audience, because when she presented herself as feeling like she's better than, and I think that was a big turnoff to the Black Americans, including myself. When I saw her in some of her interviews, I thought she could have been more appealing to the audience, more friendlier. I'd say she come off more friendlier, more warmer, more, where the audience can resonate with you, and she wasn't given that energy, and I think that was what was missing. She didn't give the energy of warmth, so, and down to earth feeling. And Americans, we like this, people are down to earth, likable, more friendlier, and we didn't feel that vibe with her. And I think that's what happened. You got to understand the vibe of your fan base, the audience. You got to resonate with them. You got to connect with them. You got to make them feel that they can vibe with you. And if there's a disconnect, that can definitely hurt your how you appear to others, and yeah. So this next video that I'm going to share is another content creator, and he did a great job. I think he was right on it. He said that, she was a new artist, and I agree. She's young. She's only 23. I was looking at how old she is, and so this is a new uncharted territory for her. But it's still really no excuse. You have the internet nowadays, and you can look things up and learn more about people's culture and histories, and so that way you can understand why there's a disconnect, So yeah, but I'm gonna let you hear what this content creator has to say.
So maybe now Tyla will understand what we meant when we called her black, because what's going on is very much so a black problem. And no one is erasing her identity as a colored person. We understand she's South African, that's fine. But when it comes to this American market, baby, that's a black girl. And the only people who can even understand what she's experiencing right now in the industry are the black girls. Ari Lennox, Tinashe, Chloe, Normani. You can even say Justine Skye. The list goes on and on. I saw the writing on the wall when Tyla was doing her own hair in Barbados talking about budget issues. What do you mean budget issues? You just got a Grammy. You have the highest award in all of music. What happened to water? They cut the water off? And that right there is a classic industry tactic that they do with the black girls. They'll let you swim that first lap around the pool in a life vest, but that second lap, no life vest, and they'll tell you they taught you how to swim. No, you carried them around the pool. They don't know how to swim. The sophomore slump is almost like orchestrated via budget every time. And the most sick part about this is her EP is fire. And I think the song with Wizkid is going to save it because that's going to go crazy as a single. But is it wrong? Push to start? Even me saying, yo, this girl and this attitude, like, trust me. But her music kind of cleaned it up for me. No shade, I have an ear. It's my business. But I'm black. So I have the taste for Amapiano, for reggae, for international music, for Afro beats. It will always speak to me. The average white consumer, if it's not on TikTok the way that they made sure water was, they don't know what's going on here. And so what would possess you to scorn the exact same people that you know what it is? I know what it is. Tyla listened to them people behind her and not the people in front of her, us. And so even though she probably will not learn this lesson, what you're learning right now is very much a black lesson in this market. This is how they are orchestrated to treat you. And if you understood what being black is here, you wouldn't have pushed back. You would have learned from us. But now you can learn from you because you're sitting here with a fire project that ain't nobody heard. 3,000 copies? 3,000? Ugh.
Well, there you have it, you guys. I think this content creator was pretty much right. This is a learning experience for Tyla, and hopefully she learns from this particular incident, and do better next time. And this is a learning experience for all of us, that we all need to learn about each other's culture. Whenever you go into other people's country, and if you're trying to sell to that particular audience, you have to understand the culture, the history, and everything. All Tyla has to do is to apologize and apologize this whole incident, and then and change her tone. Come off more friendly and redirect herself. I don't know if she's capable of that. Maybe that's who she is. The stuck up energy, or feeling that she's better than, if that's part of her personality, then that's not going to work. But if it's not really who she is and she wants to redefine herself, she has an ability to change and, appeal to the audience that really loved her from the beginning, at the beginning, which was the water video. She needs to resonate with the audience, and I don't know if she can repair this, but if she wants to, I would recommend that she learn the culture of the people that you're trying to appeal to. And most of the people who were buying your album were American, Black Americans. And so if you are going to sell to them, you have to appeal to them. But yeah, but this was really interesting, very insightful. And plus, I think too, I forgot to mention, I think the timing was not good for releasing her album. I believe that they probably should have probably waited to release it, because there was already a boycott going on with the Black Americans with Black Africans, because of the disrespect that a lot of us receive when immigrants come over here. There's a negative stereotype of us, and the sheer disrespect and not acknowledging us, and when we were the ones who helped bring you here, by fighting for civil rights so everybody had the right to be here. So I think everybody needs to learn our culture as well. And I think that's where the problem lies, is the misinformation, the stereotypes, and the biasness, I would say great supremacy that they have, Caucasians, and that, makes you think that the stereotypes of Black Americans is true, when you have to really look beyond that. And I think when you come in and don't educate yourself or try to learn another person's culture, that especially people you're trying to sell to, you're gonna have a backlash. And so hopefully things will get better. I believe it will. Look at my video. I talked about the delineation and why Black Americans, foundational Black Americans are delineating. And I explained that in that video. Please go watch it. I explain all of that. And I think it ties right into this video with Tyla, the delineation and also the boycotting, because of the sheer disrespect. But what I think about the boycott, I think it's shedding more light into getting people to understand that, hey, we are here too, and that we do have an identity as well. Please respect us as well. Just like we respect yours, we, respect you all to respect ours as well. But yeah. But that's the message here today. Please like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I have some more videos coming out soon. And please binge watch my videos. I talk about the American Aborigines. I'll talk about mental health. I talk about spirituality. I have over 800 videos I've done here. And I've been doing it for over 8 years. So please check out the videos. I'm here to educate and to help you to understand more about you. So that's the reason why I did this video, so we can have a better understanding of foundational Blacks, Black American, and for others, for everybody else who want to learn more about these things, about our history, about spirituality, about mental health. That's all very important. So yes, I am, but till next time, you guys, love and peace. Bye-bye.